Hi there, it's Tracy Lewin and
Peter Murray. Good afternoon, Tracy.
hi there, Peter. It's Bitcoin News Review again.
Yes,
How are
it's
you doing in
time for
London?
our weekly news. London is fine. It's a grey, overcast, normal London weather, but fantastic place to be for a while.
Yes, I'm sure it is. And I must say, do you know what I found out about Dubai today?
Now tell me,
Dubai has a Minister of Happiness.
really, I wonder what happens if he stops smiling? Do they fire him?
So actually,
The
it's
other problem is, the Minister of Happiness. I mean, if he's in the US and over a certain age, it wouldn't work because if you have too much Botox as a politician, you're not able to smile anymore. You
okay.
know.
Remind me not to have too much Botox or any at all.
I think just stay clear of the Botox. We are, unnatural, like Bitcoin, natural progression.
Yes, absolutely. So here we go, Bitcoin News Review and 24th of March.
Unbelievable.
This has been a
Almost the end of the
terrible.
first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe it's gone so quickly. But we really had a bad week this week in terms of the bombings in Brussels, and and you're in Europe. You get the feeling like really, really close to you.
You know what, Tracy? This is a terrible story. I mean, this is going to influence Europe so much in terms of, people are scared to travel. Summertime's coming. Tourism and stuff like that. Traveling in France, and Belgium with states of emergency. People are stopped everywhere. And there's a bit of panic. And the reason why we put in this slide is political uncertainty is growing. And this is not specific Bitcoin news, but this news has such a huge impact on our business and on what's happening with Bitcoin that we have to start covering it, because this political uncertainty is going to the heart of attacking European institutions. And financial institutions are also a prime target. And this is the one thing about Bitcoin. Bitcoin cannot be attacked, physically. It's Bitcoin is running on a network of computers that's all over the world. So you can't go attack the Bitcoin headquarters. And but this political uncertainty just brings more financial uncertainty. And I'm firmly believe that Bitcoin is a safe haven of the future in our turbulent times.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, terrible story.
Okay, then that brings us to the articles that we have on our Bit Media Facebook page this week. And the one thing is about Japan, and Japan's getting pretty active as well. So here's a headline: Japan debates regulating Bitcoin as currency. Banks eager to study the blockchain.
I think this is just, a continuation of the story everywhere about the blockchain and the central banks looking at how they can best integrate Bitcoin into the economy. And we've talked about this before we actually started with this broadcast, Tracy, is that if there's anybody out there that still worries about, is Bitcoin illegal? Is it a scam? Is it, real? Should I be nervous about Bitcoin? I keep on saying it. You're still living in the Bitcoin dark ages. It's already mainstream. The banks, the governments, everybody knows about Bitcoin, and they're all getting involved. So those are, you're starting to really sound uninformed if you still ask those questions.
Absolutely. I mean, we know that there's quite a few countries that are involved, and there's just so much going on about the blockchain. You just cannot ignore it. You just cannot, and honestly, don't be that person don't be an ostrich that sticks their head in the sand. Just don't be that person. So now, you told me just now that you have a Proton Mail. There's a headline here about encrypted email provider, Proton Mail, opens to the public, accepts Bitcoin payments. That's interesting.
Yes, I just open, a Proton email. You just go to the website and you open an email account. It's free to open. And it works exactly like a Gmail account or whatever. Anybody can open one, and there you go. Mine works like a bomb. You can send emails to any other email address. And yeah, I'll send you my Proton email address, Tracy, and we can exchange emails and maybe make a video for people how that works.
Yes,
That
well,
would be
I'm definitely
nice.
going to be.
The nice thing about Proton Mail is, just to go back, it's encrypted email, so nobody can hack into your emails or force Proton Mail to. It's on the blockchain, so if people go, if somebody wants to read your emails, they can go to Google and they can say to Google, listen, Google, we want this email, of this person. Google might refuse or whatever, but Google might have to fight the refusal. The same thing as with Apple, with this iPhone that the people want, the FBI wanted unlocked and stuff like that. With
Yes.
Proton Mail, no Proton, there's nobody to go to say it's on the blockchain. Your emails are all encrypted. Nobody can get hold, or nobody can read it.
Amazing.
Yeah, and this is the future. More and more of these things, and I think this is what a lot of people don't realize. Bitcoin is a computer program. This is a Bitcoin application or a blockchain application that does not involve money. It does not involve exchange of value. It involves exchange of information.
Well, that's very interesting, and I'll definitely have my Proton Mail pretty soon. Okay, now on to Coinbase. Coinbase seems to be quite a trailblazer. So here's an article. Coinbase introduces stop orders for Bitcoin exchange traders. And I think this is amazing because what they're doing is that if you want to, you can secure your Bitcoin price for future payments. For future purchases.
That's correct. What Coinbase also does on the merchant side is if you have a merchant site and you want to say you have a hotel and you want people to pay you in Bitcoin, but you don't want to keep the Bitcoins because you're still paying all your bills in currency and whatever, so you want your money in your local currency. Coinbase will on your website, say your hotel room is $100 a night. Coinbase will automatically, when people click on that $100, convert it into the Bitcoin equivalent, accept the Bitcoin payment, convert it back to $100 and send it to your bank account if you're a merchant.
Incredible.
So yeah, that's really, Coinbase is working on consumer adoption, and that is the next big wave coming in Bitcoin. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, that is very much so. Okay, Australian government seeks to end double taxation of Bitcoin.
Same story almost as in Japan.
Yes.
What happens is they want to declare it a currency so that people don't pay a tax on every Bitcoin transaction because it's a means of exchange. It's not a thing in itself. So yeah, I think that's going to also get more Bitcoin movement in Australia going.
Yes, absolutely. And Australia is pretty active in terms of Bitcoin anyway. They're doing quite a bit of things there, quite a few things there.
Absolutely.
Okay, the next article was Roger Ver issues $100,000 Bitcoin bounty for Bernie Sanders debate. Interesting that Bitcoin's coming into the presidential election. It's been quite an interesting one to follow.
Yeah, Roger Ver is, as you know, is the Bitcoin Jesus, and he lives in Tokyo. And he's been involved in Bitcoin from the beginning, but he's also very heavily involved in American politics, and is basically offering to pay Bernie Sanders a amount of Bitcoin to go on a TV debate with some other guy that he wants Bernie to take on. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting, I have to say. Okay, now this is something that, this is an article that you spoke about this week, but we didn't have it in the news last week. Family offices see legitimacy in scrutinized Bitcoin investments.
Well, if for people that don't know what family offices are financial institutions that specialize in investing for rich families with over $1 billion worth of net, of dollar net worth. And these families usually own multiple houses, they own airplanes, they own yachts, and they own their own investment structures and their own investment funds. And the family office business side of financial institutions. It's not a very well-known site by the public, but it's huge. There's more than $1 trillion of wealth just in this one family office organization that they are talking about here. And these guys are looking at potential Bitcoin investment. And I've said it many times. I can see here in Zurich, I can see here in Zug, the smart money is putting the money in Bitcoin. The smart money being funds, rich families. These people are always on the right side of investment. They've been for years. That's why they became rich families in the first place.
Correct.
So this is the smart money, and if you're smart, you're following the smart money.
Correct, correct. My favorite, Winklevoss twins, and they're talking about Bitcoin industry growth. Let's build that bridge to the legacy world. You know, I was actually just chatting to my daughter because I'm here in Dubai, and we went to fetch my eldest grandchild from school. And I said to her, oh my goodness, Winklevoss is really, really a weird name. And she just said to me, Mom, by the way, I bet you there's thousands and thousands of women who would love that surname.
Yeah, that's very interesting. You know, they well, you know, either Facebook was started with guys with funny surnames, either Winklevoss or Zuckerberg. So I'm not sure which surname is worse, but anyway.
Well, they're all good, actually.
They're all good, yeah. And you know, the forefront of technological innovation. You know, so these guys again are invested heavily in Bitcoin and the smart money.
Yes, exactly, smart money. You know, and this is also a bit about regulations. So, you know, they are a regulated trust company in the state of New York, and really they are governed by the same controls and procedures and that we actually get in banking. So things are changing, you know. There's definitely going to be a lot more regulation, and also to get more people comfortable with buying and selling Bitcoin. So whether it's an individual or an institution. So these guys are doing a lot, you know, they're trailblazers.
Yeah, I think there's a big misunderstanding, you know, because of how the media portrays Bitcoin and whatever about regulation and stuff like that. When people say Bitcoin is not regulated, you know what? Just go back to what I always say. Bitcoin is a computer program. The internet itself is also not regulated, but many companies in the world that use the internet are regulated. All financial firms that use the internet are regulated. Media firms that use the internet are regulated. There's all kinds of regulations on. Facebook have regulations that they have to adhere to. Google have regulations that they have to adhere to. But the internet itself is a network. The internet itself cannot be regulated. It's exactly the same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not this unregulated thing that's running amok. It's just a computer program. Yeah. It's just a different type of computer program, exactly the same as the internet. And the companies that are using it will be regulated. And, you know, we are going that way, and it's happening. It's going to be exactly the same type of development. So, you know, again, people that's saying, yeah, Bitcoin is this and Bitcoin, they're totally uninformed. They have no idea what it means. And really, if you want to find out, you know, what something really means, do your own research. And, you know, don't just believe everything you hear online, and certainly don't believe everything you hear in the mainstream media, or don't go ask your local bank manager what he thinks, because he doesn't know. That's why he's a local bank manager, with all due respect. Yeah.
You need to also make your own decisions.
You know, go talk to somebody that has some the proper information. And the information's out there for everybody that really wants to get it.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're trying to do, Peter. We really are trying to just, you know, just make sure that we can educate people and get people going in the right direction, because you know, the writing is on the wall.
Yeah, Bitcoin is going to be everywhere. We saw last week the USA Automobile Association, 11.2 million members, the 5th largest auto insurer in the US, the 27th largest US bank. They have got all their members now have Bitcoin on their statements. So, you know, there's nothing funny about it. It's just like anything else. And it's going to be out there. Everybody's going to have it soon.
Okay, here's another blockchain thing. Having said that, the headline says, Commerce Bank, future of Bitcoin is an open question. They're just saying that blockchain technology constitutes a genuine revolution in how decentralized systems are run. So, so really, they've basically done a report, and that touches both on Bitcoin and the underlying blockchain technology. But yeah, it's more and more banks, as you say, it's just happening every single week. We start seeing more and more.
Correct.
Okay, this is also 2017 or 2025. Securities firms debate timeline for industry-grade blockchain. So, what's actually happening is this is the International Securities Association for International Trade Communication event that a whole bunch of people, had a discussion about Bitcoin and the blockchain, well, basically the blockchain.
So, what's going to happen, Tracy? I was just thinking while you're speaking, is this is going to be enormous, because what's happening, all your securities firms, or this is your traditional stockbrokers, have a very, they always want to save trading costs for their customers to make it as cheap as possible to trade, because, because this is what customers want. And one of the main costs of the transfer of shares. And if you list all the shares on the blockchain and transfer it from there, you can actually have an international stock exchange. That's not linked to a specific town or a specific country, whatever. You can have an international stock exchange in Bitcoin where companies can come and list their shares. And it's just like Bitcoin is transferred instantly from person to person. Once you've purchased a share, it's transferred into your name over the blockchain in 10 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. So I don't have to wait for your broker for 2-3 days to confirm your trade, and then for how many days before you actually receive your certificate or your proof of ownership. You will get it immediately the moment you buy it, and it will be verified on the blockchain. You don't have to wait for your script or anything.
It's absolutely mind-blowing to see what innovation and what changes are coming our way. I mean, it's just incredible what this whole change is bringing to the world. Absolutely incredible.
You see, the big difference here is this. I think this is what a lot of people realize. With most technology, you can skirt around it. You don't have to use a mobile phone if you don't want to. You don't have to even watch a TV if you don't want to. You don't have to use the internet if you don't really want to. I mean, it impacts your life everywhere. But the thing is, with Bitcoin, it's so much exchange of value and money that you really can't just ignore it as a technology. And this is the wake-up call that a lot of people are going to get. It's a different revolution, because it's everybody uses money.
Okay, here's another interesting one, and I thought this is really a company who's starting to think about the future and think about their employees, and I think this is incredible. German tech magazine T3N trials employee Bitcoin payroll. So what they're doing is they're paying a certain amount of money. In fact, it's not a huge amount. It's 20 euros worth of Bitcoin with each paycheck. But, and then they can actually adjust this payment, so they can actually get more if they want to. But at the end of the day, there could be some people who are not going to spend their 20 euros worth of Bitcoin. They're just going to keep it. And a couple of years down the track, it's going to be worth a huge amount of money. I think this is amazing.
It's going to grow more and more. I mean, this is already talking about Germany. There's a company in Germany now that does a bit payroll, where you Bitcoin payroll, that you can request your employer to pay you in Bitcoin completely, and they will pay all your bills. I've spoken about this before. And in the US, you've got Bitwage that does exactly the same. You can get your wages in Bitcoin, and they will pay all your bills if it's in another currency or in Bitcoin.
Yes, we've had that on previous news reviews. So if anybody is watching, you just need to go back and have a look at all our news reviews that we've posted.
There we go. There's the news review calling you.
Pardon?
In the background. I think your news review is calling you in the background.
Yes, or my children, my grandchildren. Can you hear them?
Yeah, I heard them. Yes.
Yeah, because you know what? I don't know what, I actually went out and told them to keep quiet, please, but I didn't want to make it too loud. Didn't realize that that you could hear them. I do apologize for that.
Nothing to apologize about it, because you know what it shows. We're in a world of change where we can work where we want, when we want, how we want, and we can pay now with our money and use our money as we want, which means we're working closer and closer to that world of total freedom that we all want. And that's why it's so important.
You are very right there, because you know where I am and I know where you are, and we're both with our families, and and yet we can still work and record this. So yeah, this is really good. Okay, so Russian Ministry of Finance continues Bitcoin witch hunt. You know, Russia is definitely, they definitely do want to start taking control, or rather having control of where the Russian money gets to be. Certainly they don't want it leaving the country.
Russia, Venezuela is another one. Countries that are scared of losing, any reserves they have. People, it's crazy that countries actually, take people's money and tell them how they can do it. I mean, I've been thinking about South Africa. We've had the political revolution in 1994 when Nelson Mandela was released. And everybody's talking about political freedom and, such a beautiful thing. But there's still capital controls. Over all these years, there's never been financial freedom. And why are people not rioting in the streets about that? It should be just as important as any political freedom. And what the governments don't want to accept is that Bitcoin brings it. Actually, that's wrong. Most governments do accept it. It's just some governments, like the Russian government and the Venezuelan government, that doesn't want to see the reality, but it will happen.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so there's always a lot of talk about altcoins, alternative coins. So are any altcoins currently useful? This was a question posed to a new coin which was developed called Monero. And anyway, the developer reckons that the majority of altcoins are outright scams. He's just saying he doesn't want to mince words. He thinks it's disgusting. Obviously he doesn't want to put his coin in there, but this is what he's saying, which is very, very different and it's quite refreshing, as they say, to hear a point of view like this.
Well, the thing is, Tracy, anybody can just start a website and say, I'm a coin, but, we've talked about this before. It's crazy, but, that's why you need to be informed. It doesn't mean that everybody that starts up something and says, this is now also a coin, actually does have any underlying business or underlying coins. So, I would, if I'm the public, I would steer away from any so-called alternative coins and whatever, and stick with the one coin that we know is real. It's Bitcoin, which is a proper currency, which is underwritten by many big companies and stuff like that, and stay away from all kinds of scams and schemes, because the old adage is, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yes, absolutely. So it's actually the Easter weekend. Tomorrow is Good Friday.
Unbelievable. Are you having hot cross buns in Dubai?
No, in fact, I don't know about hot cross buns, but we definitely are having an Easter egg hunt. There's Easter eggs everywhere.
The kids will love it.
Yes. So, and also, you know what? This is the most amazing competition that we've had. And when I say competition, it's really basically just putting your email into getting on our email, let's put it that way, and you can have a chance to win a Bitcoin. I think that's incredible. So
you're basically on a Bitcoin Easter hunt.
Yeah, Bitcoin Easter hunt. Please, can I have a whole bunch? I want to find them. Also, this actually ends at the end of March, so we'll have the draw at the end of March, and I will put the link underneath this review, so whoever hasn't entered can enter now.
Well, it's great. All you have to do is put your email address into the box, and to enter is free. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can win a Bitcoin. And who knows what a Bitcoin will be worth soon?
Yeah, exactly. It's, you know what, talking about the Bitcoin price, it's really been hovering around 412, 415, 417, 420 odd. So that's where it's been of the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean the price has really been quite stable the last while, but we'll see what happens, what brings after Easter. But Tracy, thank you very much for today. It was a very good show, and I think anybody that wants to get more educated, the first thing to get involved in anything is to get education, to educate yourself, and we are trying to provide some education. It's all free. All you have to do is come to our YouTube channel, subscribe, come to our Facebook page, like it, and get on our mailing list and win a Bitcoin. How easy can that be?
Absolutely. But I'd like to just end off with this quote, Peter. Bitcoin will remain, in my opinion, a relentless anomaly that refuses to go away, a black swan that cannot be ignored or extinguished. I love this because I also believe it's completely unstoppable. Well, we both do, you and me together.
Exactly. I mean, it's here to stay, and don't wait. Get involved.
So that's the end of our show today. Thanks very much, Peter, and I'll catch you soon.
I'll catch you soon, Tracy. Have a great day and have a wonderful Easter, and we'll speak next week.
Yes, thank you.